Oxidation of phenols. I'm not going to say too much about the oxidation of phenols, except that they can be oxidized. There's no alpha proton here, and so you might think that they can't be oxidized, because I told you that tertiary alcohols are not oxidized, but it does undergo oxidation, and it makes this benzoquinone, and it can be reduced to hydroquinone and oxidized again. And it's very important in a lot of biological systems that this process works. So let's look at synthesis strategies. As in other chapters, the first thing you want to look at is there a change in the carbon skeleton? The second thing you want to look at is there a change in the functional groups? Functional group interconversions, we now have these reactions. We can change an alcohol into a ketone. And we can take this is actually a primary alcohol, and make it into an aldehyde. And then these reactions go into many other reactions. This is a reaction map, and it shows the interconversion of alkanes, alkynes, alkyl halides, alcohols, ketones, and aldehydes. And it looks really complicated at first, but it's very, very useful. So let's look at proposing an efficient synthesis here. And we'll use our map. We're starting, this is an alkene. So we're going to start right up here. We'd like to make, this is a ketone. So there are two different ways we can go. We can treat our alkene with bromine, and that will add a bromine to each carbon, and then if we treat with the amide here, we'll get two successive elimination reactions, and that will give us our alkyne. Then we can treat with either an acid with mercury or with sodium borohydride, and we'll need to look to see what we're making. We're making a ketone, so we will want to treat so that we add our ketone to the more substituted carbon, not to the end. And so we'll treat with the acid and mercury sulfate compound. Yeah, I said there were two ways. We can start with our alkene here. We're trying to get down to ketone. So we can take this route. We can go through we can make an alcohol. So what we'll need is an addition reaction. We'll want to add an alcohol, and it actually will not matter which one of these we use. So let's just use the simplest one. We'll use the acid, and then we can oxidize our alcohol with any of these compounds to produce our ketone. So let's look at this one. We've got an alkyne, and we'd like to have an alcohol. So there are two routes that we could take. We could go alkyne and make a ketone, and then once we've got our ketone, we can make our alcohol. We can reduce to an alcohol. Or, let's get a different color in here. We could start with our alkyne, and we could make it an alkene, and then we can have an addition reaction. So for many of these reactions, there's going to be more than one possible right answer. Good luck with the chapter.